बढ़ाओ।
Is it okay now?
माइक को पास में रखिए, तो माइक को, अपना माइक को पास में रखिए। हाँ, बोलो तो। हाँ,
सुस्वागतम, सुस्वागतम, सुस्वागतम।
No.
नहीं आ रहा है।
This is fine.
Pratima ma'am, we can hear it well, so I think it is good to go.
Okay, ठीक है,
We
ठीक।
cannot hear it.
Aditi, please start.
करो।
Aditi, start.
Suswagatam. On behalf of Narayana Vidyalayam Nagpur, I, Aditi Thakre, a student of class 10, would like to welcome you all in this musical session organized by SPIC MACAY. Music once admitted to the soul, so I feel privileged to welcome today's distinguished guest, a well-renowned figure of music, Shri Shubhamoy Bhattacharya ji, disciple of a legendary figure, Ustad Abdul Rashid Khan Sahib. It is my honor to welcome Dr. Kiran Seth, who is an Indian academician, ex-professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering in the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. He is most known as the founder of SPIC MACAY. I welcome eminent artists and dignitaries present over here and also appreciate the presence of all the viewers of today's event. Now, I request Pushkar Kalamdhat to enlighten us about SPIC MACAY.
Thank you, Aditi. Namaskar to one and all present over here. SPIC MACAY, the Society for the Promotion of Indian Culture, Music and Culture amongst Youth. A voluntary youth movement which promotes intangible aspects of Indian cultural heritage by promoting Indian classical music, dance, folk music and other intangible aspects of Indian culture. SPIC MACAY was established by Dr. Kiran Seth at IIT Delhi in the year 1977. He later on received the Padma Shri Award in 2009 for his immense contribution to the field of arts. Art washes away from the soul the dirt of everyday life. Artists as SPIC MACAY take the Herculean challenge of washing away from our oblivious souls the dust of everyday life, linking our exotic culture with the youth of our nation. Some of SPIC MACAY's major activities include Fest Series, Virasat Series, National Convention for Students and Teachers, Music is the Park, Heritage Walk Talks by eminent thinkers, etc. Not only this, the new Great Master Series is an endeavor by SPIC MACAY to spread positivity and hope and provide relief to the young minds by focusing on the greatness of the legendary artists who have enriched our music, art, and culture through their immense dedication and contribution. The series has provided us with an opportunity to experience our great cultural heritage, discover our art and tradition, and connect with our inner self. It has also helped us to give a glimpse into the lives and the works of the doyens of Indian classical art forms through live interactions with direct disciples or family members of the legendary great masters. This institution does the role of inculcating the very essence of our core Indian values in today's youth. It is a torchbearer for all our future generations to come. We thank this institution for this humanitarian, public-spirited philanthropic drive of theirs, which has given us all a platform to connect with people like Ustad Abdul Rashid Khan Sahib and Shri Shubhamoy Bhattacharya ji. I welcome you all.
Thank you, Pushkar. That was really illuminating. Now, I invite Ananya Bhandarkar, who will talk about Ustad Abdul Rashid Khan Sahib.
My great honor that I'm here to introduce to you the great legendary Hindustani classical vocalist of Mutted Boler Gharana, Ustad Abdul Rashid Khan Sahib. He was born on 19th of August 1908 in Raebareli, Uttar Pradesh. He was born in a musician's family, tracing its root to Behram Khan of Gwalior Gharana. Ustad Ji's vocal style belongs to the musical tradition of Mian Tansingh, the great Hindustani classical music composer and singer, one of the Navratnas of the court of the Emperor Akbar. He began his formal training under his father, Chote Yusuf Khan, at the age of 8 years. He gave his first performance with his father at the age of 40 years. Ustad Ji's versatility and repertoire includes Dhamal Gaiki, Dhrupad, Khayal, Thumri, and Tirwat style Gayaki. He was also a prolific poet and has written over 2,000 compositions. His compositions have been recorded by BBC and Iraq Radio and ITC Sangeet Research Academy of Kolkata. Ustad Ji's performance at regional and international stages have earned him many awards and felicitations, which includes ITC Sangeet Research Award in the year 1994, Sangeet Natak Ganga Award in the year 2009, Kasha Swar Ganga Award in the year 2004, Ras Sagar Award in the year 2004, Bholka Award in the year 2010, Padma Bhushan Award in the year 2013, Lifetime Achievement Award Government of Delhi in the year 2014. For several decades, he has regularly performed for Akashvani and Doordarshan Lucknow. Ustad Ji has participated in many national and regional conferences like Sadalanga Conference, Godrej Conference, Lucknow Conference, Doorlake Conference, ITC Sangeet Conference all over India. Such is the stature of great legendary vocalist who is the Utsav Murti of today's event. Thank you.
Thank you, Ananya, for briefing us about Ustad Ji. A study shows that classical music can cause the heart rate and breathing to slow and lower blood pressure. This is the effect of classical music. Now, I call upon Mandar Keche and more about his musical journey.
Thank you, Aditi. Namaste, sir. Myself, Mandar Keche from Narayana Vidyalaya, Nagpur. It is my honor that I am here to introduce a well-known Hindustani classical singer and a great disciple of Ustad Abdul Rashid Khan Sahib, Sri Shubhamoy Bhattacharya ji. Born in the year 1970, Shubhamoy ji had his initial talim of classical and semi-classical music from Sangeetacharya Chinmay Lahiri. After the demise of Pandit ji, he took lessons from Pandit Shyamal Lahiri for a few years. In the year 1995, Shubhamoy ji came under the tutelage of Padma Bhushan Baba Abdul Rashid Khan Sahib, the legendary artist of Gwalior Gharana. He became a Gandaban Shagir of Ustad Ji and served him for 20 years until his demise at the age of 107. Shubhamoy ji is an A-grade Khayal singer of All India Radio and Doordarshan. Besides, he also performs semi-classical Tappa, Tumri, Dadra, Ghazal, etc. Shubhamoy ji has performed all over India in various prestigious conferences. He toured with his Ustad as his vocal support throughout the country for 17 long years. He has performed at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, ITC SRA, Salt Lake Music Conference. Shubhamoy ji has done several workshops and solo recitals all over India for SPIC MACAY. His performances in the album Rasangeet and Rasan Piya was highly appreciated by the listeners and media. In academic life, he is Master of Arts in English Literature and a graduate of Urdu Language and Literature. Today, on this platform, we will be getting to know about his long musical journey with Ustad. Thank you.
Thank you, Mandar. That was really illuminating. I welcome you, sir, to the Great Master series. We have some music lovers in the session. They are quite eager to ask some questions. So, to begin the interactive session, here we have Anushri.
Namaste, sir. Sir, my name is Anushri, and my question was Abdul Rashid Khan Sahib. So, I wanted to know, when did you started receiving training for Indian classical music by Ustad Ji, and how were his methods of training?
Namaste. Welcome to all of you. At first, I extend my pranams and gratitude to the family of SPIC MACAY and all of you students. I extend my regards and pranams to Dr. Kiran Seth, our dearest Kiran sir, for giving me the chance, giving me the opportunity to talk about Baba, my guru, my ustad, my friend, philosopher, and guide. So he was not only a great teacher, not only a great guru, but also the best human being that I have ever come across in my life. So I went to Baba when I was 25 years old, I think, in the year 1995. By then, I already had acquired some knowledge about Indian classical music. I had some conception about Indian classical music because I was getting talim from a great master of Hindustani Sangeet, Sangeetacharya Pandit Chinmoy Lahiri. I trained under him for 5 to 6 years, and then after his demise, I went to his son, Pandit Shamul Lahiri, with whom I stayed. I took lessons of Indian classical music for near about 10 years. And then in 1995, I went to Baba, went to Ustad Abdul Rashid Khan Saab. And I think that was preordained by, it was the will of God actually. Because at that time in 1995, nobody heard about Baba actually. Baba was staying in Calcutta for some times then. And but no one knew that this great man was living in Calcutta. Actually, there was Pandit Ullas Kashalkar of Gwalior Jaipur Gharana, who was staying in ITC SRA then, who told me about Baba. And he asked me to go to Baba for further talim. And that is how I went to Baba. And then from 1995, I started my talim under Baba. So that was how I started my talim. And Baba's teaching procedure was, he was a very hard taskmaster actually. In the beginning, he used to sit with me at a stage for 2 to 3 hours at a stretch and take up a rag. He used to teach me the various nuances of the raga, the alap of the raga, and various alankars in the raga, and various compositions, various bandishas in the raga. He used to teach me a raga for 4 months to 6 months. Like I started with Yaman, and he continued Yaman for 6 long months. And each day he taught me Yaman in a different mood, in a different aspects of the raga, and various bandishas of the raga. So that was the first few years. This type of talim actually continued. Now I must say that in our gharana, we generally differentiate between a student and a disciple. I was a student then. Now for the first few years, first 1.5 to 2 years, I was a student of Baba. But after that, when I got the chance to be a disciple, that means I became a Gandaband Shagird of Baba. And then the talim, actually, the procedure of talim really changed. It was no more sitting up in a particular time and taking lessons of particular ragas. Actually, I was staying at Baba's place. I was serving him. Sometimes I was bathing him. Sometimes I was feeding him with my own hands. Sometimes I was giving him massages. Sometimes I was sitting with him in the angan, and he was teaching me. He was teaching me when I was traveling with him in different parts of India for concerts, in the carriage, in the train, in the plane, in the hotel rooms. So that way, I really had the opportunity to get talim from Baba. Most of the times, I was practicing in front of him. Whatever I was practicing, I did it in front of him. 2 to 3 hours, I used to sing a particular rag in front of him, and he used to sit in front of me, and he used to sing with me and just tell me where I was going wrong, where I was doing right, and how to do it, how to sing a raga, how to sing a bandish, how to delineate the different aspects, different pehlus of the raga. So that was how I was trained.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Rushada with her query.
Thank you, Aditi. Namaste, sir.
No,
Sir, I'm Rushada Avchad from class 10th, and I feel immense pleasure in sharing this platform with you and share my queries. So, sir, I would like to know that Ustadji was no doubt a wonderful singer, a versatile in performing Namal, Dhrupad, Tumri, Khayal, and Tirvat styles. Out of all these styles, which style did you like the most, and which style of his singing immensely influenced you?
Actually, we all know Baba as a predominantly a khayal singer. But what we don't know is that actually he hailed from a traditional Gwalior Gharana, and he sang Dhrupad, Dhamar, and other forms of classical music with equal dominance. So at the beginning, we also learned Dhrupad and Dhamar. We started with, actually, he started me with Dhrupad and Dhamar. He taught me Dhamar in Multani, Rag Multani, and a Dhrupad in Rag Hamaj when I first started with him. So we had the talim of Dhrupad and Dhamar at the beginning. And later on, gradually, when we had some idea, some notion about the rendering of a note, how to sing a bandish, how to do the gradual alap. He used to teach us alap for 2 to 3 hours, and it was in the Dhrupadangi Kalap with Nom Tom. So we had a basic talim of Dhrupad and Dhamar at the beginning, and then we shifted to Khayal singing. So you know, Khayal is more, it is a more fragile, more versatile form of classical singing than Dhrupad. Dhrupad is more restricted form, is more pure form of art. So we learned Khayal mainly after that, and my specialization was always Khayal. We liked Khayal, and I also performed Khayal. But besides Khayal, I also sing Dhrupad, Dhamar, and he also taught me Thumri, Chaiti, Kajri, Dadra, because my Ustadji always maintained that to be a good singer, you have to be a Chaumukha singer. Meaning you cannot limit yourself in a particular one genre, particular one style, that I sing Khayal and I don't sing anything else. Not that. If I can sing Khayal, I can also, if I have the talim, I can sing Dhrupad, Dhamar also, and I can sing semi-classical forms like Thumri, Dadra, Chaiti, Kajri, even in the lighter forms, Ghazal, Bhajan also. So besides being especially a Khayal singer, I also had the opportunity to take talim of all these forms of classical and semi-classical music.
Thank you, sir. Moving forward, we have Naman with his question.
Thank you, Aditi, for providing me with an intoxicating opportunity to address a person who is a legend. Good evening, sir. Namaste. I, Naman Gharpure, a student of class 10 from Narayana Vidyalaya. So, we all know that you are a great follower of Baba. And I am very inquisitive in knowing that what were the hindrances faced by Ustadji during the period of his training and also during his performances. And I think we would be really delighted, sir, if you tell us more about it.
Actually, the time of Baba and the time that we are living in is quite different. In Baba's time, their life was a lot less complex than we live nowadays. So Baba didn't have to go farther away in search of a great guru, because the gurus were already in his family. His father, his great-grandfather, they all were great ustads, great exponents of Hindustani classical music. So he got the opportunity to take talim from them, to learn under them, to train under them for 20 to 22 long years. And he really at the time, there was little opportunity for this internet and this social media. But he explored all the facilities that was already in his family. But later on, when Baba became a performer, then he had to face a lot of difficulties because he had to sustain a family. He had to fight with poverty because because he hailed from a not a very rich family. He didn't hail, and afterwards he was in a program. Baba got poisoned by one of his co-singer, and as a result of it, he got sick, and he was out of the musical scenario for at least 10 to 15 years. But by the grace of God, his voice was saved. Although he had certain physical ailments, certain physical incapabilities afterwards, but his voice was saved. And he in spite of all these hindrances, he was able to sing. He was able to come out as one of the greatest exponent of classical music by the sheer force of his will, by the sheer force of determination.
Thank you, sir. Further, I call Adya to ask her query.
Adya, you are not audible. No, can you please remove your headphones?
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible now.
Okay. Good evening, sir. I'm Adya, and my query is actually Ustad Abdul Rashid Khan Sahib has composed over 2,000 bandishes. We want to know what is Rasan Pia and Rasan.
Well, Rasan Pia was Baba's pseudonym, pen name, as you say. All the great composers of Hindustani music, particularly the Khayal composers and the Dhrupad composers of yesteryears, they used to use this their names at the end of the composition. We have great composers like Sadarang, Adarang, Manarang, Khushrang, and Sanad Pia, Magan Pia. So like that, Baba also had this pen name Rasan Pia, which he used in all of his compositions. If you listen to his compositions, all the compositions that he created, all the compositions he made, bears the name Rasan Pia at the end of it. So it was his pseudonym actually, Rasan Pia. Or Rasan Geet is the actually the name of the album that I, with one of my Guru Bahan, Pampa Mukherjee, who is a very beautiful singer, we did in the memory of Baba, which consisted of some great compositions of Baba, particularly the geets that were composed by Baba, some geets, some savan that were composed by Baba. And it was an album that came out 3 years ago, and which was very well received by the listeners. So that is what Rasan Geet and Rasan Pia is.
Thank you, sir. Now Aryan would be coming to ask his question.
Thank you, Aditi. Namaste, sir. I am Aryan Pillai, a student of Narayana Vidyalayam. Sir, you have been a vocal supporter of Ustad Ji during his performances all over India for around 17 years. During his performances, you might have come across many memorable incidences. What is the most memorable incident which you would like to share with us?
Actually, I had been with Baba for to so many places throughout the country. So many fond memories I think whatever time I spent with Baba, all the memories, all those times are very memorable, very dear to me. To speak about a particular incident will be very difficult for me. Will be I performed with Baba as a vocal support for the SPIC MACAY for so many years in so many concerts, and I have so many great memories of Baba singing in front of the listeners, in front of the audience. I think one memory that is coming to my mind was here in Baba's residence. Actually, one day I was singing a beautiful song, a beautiful bandish in praise of the Paighambar of Islam, Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that was composed by Baba actually. And suddenly, while I was singing, Baba just broke down into tears, and he was crying vehemently, and he was crying like a child. We had never seen Baba crying like that, and he was crying so loudly that we also got so emotional, and I just stopped in the midst of the song, and Baba was urging me to get on with my singing, and he told me, "Gaate raho beta, gaate raho." So what I did was somehow I also ended the song, and after the completion of the song, Baba had a necklace of crystal in his on him, and he took out that crystal necklace and put it on me, and he told me that you are a real shagird of me, you are such a disciple of me, and he embraced me on his heart, and he gave me a lot of blessings. So that was a very memorable incident that I feel I still cherish whenever I think of Baba.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Pushkar to put up his query.
Thank you, Aditi. Sir, first of all, it is a very rare and great privilege of mine to even be in the virtual presence of an artist as accomplished as you, sir. Please do accept my deepest greetings, sir. Sir, as mentioned earlier, Ustad Abdul Rashid Khan Sahib has composed over 2,000 compositions, Khayal, Dhrupad, Thumri, and Tirvat. Sir, what exactly is Tirvat's style of singing? Please do elaborate for us. And sir, we would also like to hear this Tirvat style of singing, if possible.
Actually, Tirvat is a classical form, like Khayal, like you sing Khayal, you sing Dhrupad, you sing Khayal Numa, Tarana, and Chaturang. So these are all different forms of Khayal, styles of different styles of classical music, classical form. So Tirvat is also a classical form, but instead of a lyrical composition, it has some syllables. It is created out of some syllables of pakhawaj. Pakhawaj, you know? Pakhawaj is a drum instrument of Hindustani classical music. It is played with Dhrupad actually. Tirvat is composed with the syllables of this pakhawaj, and it has a little bit of lyrical input in the composition, but most of the composition is made of this pakhawaj bowls. So I will render a short composition of Tirvat to elaborate it. Okay. So this composition is in Rag Bhupali. And set to Tintal. It is in Rag Bhupali. Mandilara baje. So this portion, Mandilara baje piya ghar. This is a lyrical sentence. This has meaning. But afterwards, you will find all those lines that are coming up. Those are the bowls of pakhawaj. Okay. Mandilara baje, Mandilara baje, piya ghar dha din nak din nak din din nak, tak delang de gen da delang da, Mandilara baje, Mandilara baje, piya ghar dha din nak din nak tak delang de gen da delang da, Mandilara baje, Mandilara baje, Mandilara. Tat tirikit tak thum, ta tirikit tak tati dhati da dhum kit tak garan tak thum. Dhage dhirikit kan ka ta dha kat dhirikit gadi gan da ta dha, Mandilara baje, Mandilara baje, Mandilara baje, Mandilara baje, Mandilara baje, piya ghar dha din nak din nak tak delang de gen da delang dha, Mandilara 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 baje. So that was three but.
Thank you so much, sir. We are really mesmerized by the way you sang. Finally, we have Ananya to put up her question.
Thank you. Namaste, sir. It is my great honor that I'm here with you, and I'm Ananya Bhandarkar of class 10. Sir, you are a great disciple and were closely associated with Ustad Abdul Rashid Khan Sahib for around 20 years. What are your memories with Ustad Ji, especially during the period of training under his able guidance?
Sorry, you can pardon, I didn't hear you clearly.
Okay, sir. So, you are a great disciple and were closely associated with Ustad Abdul Rashid Khan Sahib for around 20 years. What are your memories with Ustad Ji under the period of training under his able guidance?
Ustad Ji, as I told you, was a very hard taskmaster. He would test me quite a lot. I had to undergo several ordeals before he would accept me as a disciple. And when he was teaching me, when he was giving me lessons, sometimes he would teach me 6-8 bandishas at one sittings. And you know, at that time, I was talking about 1998, 1997, 98. At that time, there was no provision for tape recorder, no provision for mobile recording, and we were not allowed to use our copies. We are not allowed to write down the bandishes, whatever we taught. It was like a training which came from his mouth to our heart. So he would teach us. He would teach me 6 to 8 bandishes, and I had to remember them all. And after a few weeks, he would ask me to sing me those bandishes. So it was a very difficult thing in the beginning for me to remember all those bandishes. So what I did was, sometimes I asked him for leave to go to the washroom, and I went to the washroom. I used to write all those bandishes down on my sleeves, and came out of the washroom, and afterwards I used to remember them. But gradually, this type of training, gradually I became able to grasp all those bandishes. I could remember all those bandishes, even in a day when he was teaching me 10 to 12 bandishes a day, I could remember them all. So he was very pleased with me. If I could render all those bandishes in correct manner, he was very pleased with me, and he would give me all the blessings when I sing them in front of him.
Thank you, sir. Now, I request the SPIC MACAY technical team to take over and show us some rare videos of Ustad Abdul Rashid Khan Sahib. So, I request everyone to switch off their videos and mute themselves for a seamless streaming.
Yeah, before we start, Shubhaji, I just wanted to ask you one thing. You know, Baba was singing the stage performances, I think, till the age of 102. Hello?
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 Yes, sir, you are audible.
Hello. Continue.
Yes, Ashok
Yes, sir,
ji,
you
you're
are
audible.
audible.
Can you
Do
hear?
continue with the question. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was just trying to say, what do you think? What was the secret of that? Even the recording that we are going to show, I think he must be around 99 or 100, the recording which we are going to show. So anything that you would want to say on that, because at this age, you cannot even, it's so difficult to sing. You cannot even talk properly.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, this particular question was asked to Baba for several times by the print media, by everyone else. कि आप इस उम्र में कैसे आप गाते हैं? How can you sing at this age? Even at the age of 107, the day he passed away, the day before that day, he took a class of 10 minutes to one of his students. So actually, yes, and Baba used to answer that it was a charisma. It was Kudrat's charisma actually. It was a wonder of the nature and God's blessings. It was the what I get is that it was the lifestyle and the amount of sadhana that he did. The sadhana that he did, the amount of thought, the amount of life that he gave to his music, that is responsible for his singing. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll start the video, and I think this video is somewhere when he was about 101 or 102 or around that age. So Abhishek, we can start the video.
I request everyone to please switch off their cameras.